We want to go over to Kendra, who actually felt the quake tonight happen. You were in the Weather Center, Kendra, when you felt it.
Yeah, exactly. And with the way we really felt it, I actually saw some of the movement. A lot of our lights hang down from rafters in here. And I saw some of the lights swinging, and I thought, my gosh, what in the world could be causing that? And first thought definitely was not an earthquake, but that was definitely the case. 4.1 magnitude earthquake, and that happened in Edgefield, South Carolina. And I wanted to explain something quickly. You know how we've been talking about how it's been felt across much of the state of South Carolina, parts of Georgia, North Carolina. Well, on the East Coast, the crust of the earth is actually harder and colder than it is out west. So when we get these earthquakes, it's like two steel beams banging together, and you'd feel that vibration and sound a lot farther than you would if the beams were softer. And that crust is a lot softer off to the west. So all along the East Coast, when we do have these earthquakes, they tend to travel farther than the typical. So we're talking about how typically a magnitude 4.1 would be felt about 60 miles away from the epicenter, but we're finding that it was felt even farther than that. You know, about 60 miles away from Edgefield is Columbia, and we've had reports farther away than Columbia. We've had reports from Atlanta, some tweets coming in saying they felt some rumbling, and across the upstate. This has become a Fox Carolina family tradition over the last 7 years. We've been doing this, and we're trying to outdo ourselves every year, and it goes to such a great cause. The Salvation Army. So as you're walking up, if you're coming over here, well, perfect timing, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You're live on the 4 o'clock news.
Oh, hello.
Say hi.
Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. That's going to continue to be an issue into the overnight hours. You know, you think when the sun goes down, we'll lose that heat from the day. These storms wouldn't quite pack the punch that they would normally. But this system is so strong. We've seen what it did off to the west in Arkansas and then into Mississippi today and Alabama. This storm, there's such strong wind fields with it, lots of dynamics going on. So any storm that develops could produce a tornado. And as we've seen with this particular instance, this one cell is rotating. So it could produce a tornado at any moment. So we'll go ahead and put another storm track on this storm as this cell has actually moved a little farther to the north. It's right over Cullowhee now. And if we were to find a tornado, it would likely be in the I'm going to kind of point to it there. It would be on the southern edge of this storm. That's where you get the best inflow for a storm, and that's how those tornadoes sustain themselves so well. And that's going to move right along 123 through Cullowhee, and then possibly on toward Waynesville. If it looks like it's moving at sort of a northeasterly pace. It was going straight north, now looks a little bit more toward the northeast. So let's put a fresh storm track on it, and that's going to take it about 40 miles per hour toward the northeast. So just in the next couple of minutes for Cullowhee, Balsam in 17 minutes, 25 minutes, that would be the arrival time in Waynesville. So that would put it in at about 11:45. Again, this circumstance is a very dangerous one. We're at night. This is likely a rain-wrapped tornado if there is one on the ground currently. And many folks still maybe sleeping. You might want to give your family or friends a call if they're in the path of this storm right now, because potentially they could be asleep. Maybe you're watching Fox Carolina, but you know someone in Cullowhee or Waynesville or Balsam, anywhere in the path of this storm, and you can let them know. Reason number 1082 to get a dog. There you go. That's awesome. Well, you know, in the morning, if you want to go out and walk your dog, you may have to deal with some clouds, maybe an isolated shower. And we've been talking about this lunar eclipse or blood moon, which is going to occur a little bit later on tonight. There will be some clouds around, so it will be difficult to see it, but still might catch a glimpse after 5 a.m. But right now, we are covered in the rain. You can't see the moon right now, that's for sure. We have a line of showers from Lawrence extending on through Oconee County, Clemson, Seneca, seeing some of that light rain. Around Spartanburg, though, you're starting to dry out. This round of rain that affected you earlier is now to the south. So Enoree, Lawrence, Fountain Inn, Hickory Tavern, you're seeing some of that rain over on toward Union, and it's very slowly drifting toward the south, and we're looking toward Easley as well as Piedmont. Still some light rain there, but it was a lot heavier earlier on. North of 6 Mile, looking at a little bit of moderate rain up toward Pickens, and some moderate rain north of Walhalla now, and that's all pushing to the south. And it's been fairly light for places like southern Anderson County, Lake Secession, Abbeville, due west, but may pick up a little bit later on tonight. You can kind of see the general movement of these showers. It's all with an upper level disturbance that is so quickly swinging hanging through. And by tomorrow morning, most of this rain should be out of here, but we could get one last little dose as we go through the morning hours. Notice we start off dry in the upstate and most of the mountains. We'll still have a little bit of rain upstream. A lot of that's going to fall apart as it tries to push on through, but a few showers could make it into the upstate through the morning hours. Just a slight chance of rain. But in general, by noon on Wednesday, we are clear, and boy, is it going to warm up. Under plenty of sunshine in the afternoon, we'll make it into the mid-80s. Yeah, feeling a little more summer-like across the upstate. And then a few clouds may build in from time to time, but in general, mostly clear. Now, it's a good thing we're getting some of this rain because we're already in an abnormally dry status for these counties: Oconee, Greenwood, Abbeville, Lawrence, and also Stevens, Franklin, and Elbert counties in northeast Georgia. That's just the first level of drought. It's not a terrible situation, but we don't want it to get any worse. So it's a good thing we're getting this dose of rain through the overnight hours. A warm Wednesday on the way. A few showers possible by the time we get in the late week for Friday night football. Any of your plans after about 3 p.m. on Friday, even for fall for Greenville, we could see a couple of showers. And the weather will remain unsettled through the weekend. We're not talking about a washout where it's going to rain all day long, but a few showers possible each day as clouds will build in and a front will stall out to our north. So temperatures currently, we're in the 60s to low 70s in the upstate, feeling a little on the humid side right now. 61 though in Asheville, and winds blowing at about 11 miles per hour in Greenville and Greenwood, 4 miles per hour there in Spartanburg, 12 in Asheville, and 6 miles per hour in Toccoa. And at USC Upstate in Spartanburg, that wind out of the south, that's what's helping to build in the humidity just a bit, and temperatures holding steady in the upper 60s. So as we go through tomorrow, notice we'll start in the upper 50s and we'll have some clouds around. We will have a slight chance of showers throughout the morning, but I do think there'll be some breaks. So around 5 a.m., maybe you have to get up extra early for work. Hey, have your eye to the sky. You might see that pretty cool lunar eclipse between about 5 and 6:30. We have much more information on our website about that too. About a 40% chance of rain in the mountains to start our day, but then we will clear out and look at those highs. 84 in the upstate, 79 across western North Carolina. And in Columbia, the South Carolina State Fair kicks off tomorrow in a high temperature near 90. Yeah, you'd never guess it was fall. Mostly sunny skies. It will stay warm for the next few days, in fact, and it looks mostly dry in the Columbia area through the weekend. But as you head farther north, those rain chances will start to increase. So the upstate and mountains having to deal with some of that rain this weekend, but not overwhelming. Looking at these numbers, it shouldn't scare you away from doing things this weekend outdoors. You just want to be prepared, have the umbrella handy in case. So Wednesday, early morning shower possible, but in general, we'll be clearing and warming up into the mid-80s. Late week, we'll have a chance of showers on Friday, and then we keep highs warmer than normal through Saturday with a slight chance of rain. The best chance of rain this weekend looks to be on Sunday, but it's still only 40%. And then next week, we'll have scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms with highs in the upper 70s. So yeah, things stay a little bit on the unsettled side even into early next week. Morning showers in the mountains on Wednesday, and then mid-70s and beautiful Thursday. A few showers possible on Friday, and we'll carry those rain chances through the weekend. Looks like Sunday will be our better bet for rain. Here you are in Greenville, Spartanburg. Notice it's mainly green, yellow for you. The bad stuff really starting to pick up around Clemson, northern Anderson County, up toward Powdersville, Piedmont. These areas, that's where I'm going to be really watching for the flooding overnight tonight. This is where the torrential rain is falling, the kind, especially around Clemson, where we could see nearly 3 inches of rain per hour. And the rain's not moving at all. It's just sitting right over those locations. We talked about this for the last few days about how we had that potential for flooding, and mainly it's because we have a system that's stalled out. It's not moving at all. So if you are out, if you're just waking up, tuning in right now, and you're anywhere near Clemson, as well as Easley, Powdersville, Norris, Liberty, 6 Mile, any of those locations, please remain at home unless you absolutely need to get out.